Yo, what's up, team? We're back. Make sure they're still getting back into the swing of things here, so have to check the things as usual. Um, yes, this is another attempt to get back on the streaming schedule, of course. But yeah, and I'm not using any music just yet. We'll see how that goes. If the silence is too deafening or not. Um, or maybe I'll just play some music in my headphones, more music in my headphones, and not on stream, because we'll see how we if we end up chopping up some of these uh, streams or things for videos and things. So, but yes, it's been a while, a long while since I've streamed, and trying to get back on the wagon here. And today seems like a decent day, so we'll see. Some of the other streaming days, I watch other people stream probably around this time, but this today seems like a decent day and time, so we'll see how it goes. But yes, as I mentioned before, or as you can see in the title, if you got the notification, we're back on the analog train here, and well, I guess I should have the site up here, js.org. If you haven't noticed by my tweets or other things that I've been posting, is Analog is a project that I'm working on, a full stack Angular meta framework. Just landed file-based routing yesterday, I believe, or yes, might have been yesterday. But it has not been published in NPM yet, so I have to wrap up a couple more tasks before publishing it out, and also, of course, have to do some more testing with demo apps and things. So we'll do some of that, and we'll see how it goes. Also had interesting tweet today for some uh, engagement anyway, about writing your own Angular component. If you could choose any way you could write your own component, uh, feel free to comment and tell me what that's like. Ryan Warner Codes, thanks for coming through. Notification, good job. That may be an ongoing thing there where it's like um, tales from open source or something like that, or, or tales from open source PRs, something like that, where you get the open issue and if you've responded yet or anything like that. So try to come up with something um, similar to that vein, because I find those pretty amusing also. But yeah, thanks for coming through. Get this. Okay, I guess I have to leave that there. I haven't gotten any of those on analog. Well, I did kind of get one of them, but it wasn't that bad. So we'll see how that goes. And I was gonna say, right as I go live on YouTube, we're on YouTube and Twitch, it gives me the notification to choose my YouTube handle for my page there. Um, okay, so it's, actually it's not for it's for another channel I've made but don't have any videos on. But yet the one I have videos on, I still haven't got that notification yet. So that's nice. Anyway, yes, Analog is, like I said, a project I've been working on. Just landed the routing package. I've been working on some docs for that because I wanted to at least have some docs there before I publish the package. So maybe we'll just publish the package. We'll land these docs if they are good and publish the package from there. Then I'll take some of the other tasks that I have on analog here. One of is adding the router to the template application. Of course, I had documentation. Of course, Angular v15 RC just landed, so I'll be looking at that soon because maybe I'll just have it as a goal to try to get to a beta once, get a beta for v15. So let's look through the docs initialization and usage. I believe I have all that in there. CatDad123, thanks for coming through. How are you? If your first time in the chat, thanks for coming through. And I think I'm not getting any notification or anything yet from Twitch or anything. I don't think I have that hooked up, but we'll see. I have to redo a reset on the overlays and things, so I may have to go pick one up off the shelf with that. So like I said, this is my PR for the router package, file-based routing for Angular. Just started learning coding, so I've been listening to people. I see. Well, congrats. Congrats on your journey, at least. How's it going so far? Are you, I was at 2 questions. How's that going, and what coding are you learning? Are you doing web development? Are you learning React? Or it seems to be the trend. People that are like switching to development, doing web stuff, and learning React. So be interested to see which path you're going down there. And if you have any other questions, I'll try to answer them as best I can anyway. File system based router allows you to configure routing using Angular component files. Only supports standalone components. Requires usage of an Angular analog project. Learning HTML and CSS at the moment. Want to learn Python after that. Okay, cool. Python is good to learn. Analog router is included. Generate a new analog project. That's not true yet, but it will be after we land this other package. Import the file router. Define some routes. Hey, Dominic, what's up? How are you? Thanks for coming through. I am trying to take one last look at the docs because I might end up we'll just publish the package while we're on stream here and generate a new application, try to install the package, and then see what breaks or what doesn't break. We'll see. But thanks for coming through either way. And you let me know how my volume is, if it's low or not. So I'm just kind of taking one last look at the docs, but docs are always in flight. I'm doing good, thanks. Doing good. I'm glad to have landed these changes at least, because I've been working on this for a while. Product ID. Added some stuff there. Router readme. I think I added the license info there already. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we'll switch in here. I believe I'm still on the docs router branch. Router, skip NX cache. So we'll build that. Docs are the hardest part because docs sometimes only lead to more questions. And you want the docs to deflect people from some of the questions that they may have anyway. So, but you got to have something out there. Something is better than nothing in some cases. So, at least initial usage, and that's kind of the aim of these docs are initial usage about getting started, and then people will fill in the gaps that are there, or at least request that for the gaps that are there. License, okay, package. Looks okay. So let's go into node modules. And I wouldn't normally be like going into node modules to publish a package. But with the way the monorepo is set up so that I can use it in the application itself, I compile we go into the lib packages, router, project here, actually make the output go to or sorry, not the output there in the ng package, I believe. The destination go to the node modules analog.js/router folder. And then I just publish everything from there. And that's, like I said, so I can use it in the monorepo just as a normal npm import. Because I'm just using NX and like the TS config path setup, but I don't have which is probably something I need to try out, is using the TS config path plugin for Vite and using that inside of the project itself and see if it'll just link up using the TS config path instead of having to put things in node modules. But we'll see. So as I'm going to do, npm publish access public. If those of you aren't that familiar with publishing to npm, I always do a dry run first, just to kind of see what all is going to get published. License, readme, package JSON, index, lib, version name, version number. Oh, that looks fine. If I broke something, then we'll fix it and publish another version if we need to. Because I don't usually publish on Fridays. So here we go. All right. And we are published out there. So now the package is published. Let's go back to the docs. And because I am the one reviewing, I get to squash and merge my PR. My email address is there, yes, but it's also in my commits, so not necessarily doxing myself there. Get the email for a successful publish. Squash and merge. Delete my branch. And now let's go to here. Projects. Let's do yarn create analog router. Yes, Yes, analog V14. Soon to have a V15 project in there. These things all look normal for a new Angular application. Got our Vite set up here. So let's run yarn to do the normal install things. And see how much we can get through here. And that way, if I do edit this into like a getting started with analog, well, assuming things go well, getting started with analog and routing, then this will turn into a decent video. And if not, then we'll just save it for the archives at least. And next one, add analog.js/router. So we have that there. Let's run yarn dev. And Vite and Angular. So all that works okay, which is nice. So let's follow our own instructions here. Let's see if the docs have published yet. That was one thing, see, I already missed something already. File-based routing is, well, I can still say this is upcoming features, because file-based routing is still upcoming. Let's see if we have the docs published yet. Okay, so it looks like we're still running there to publish the docs. NCI, into intest, upload docs website. So that's still there. But we know that the app is running. Now we can go into our package here, main, import from analog.js/router. And I'm not sure what what people's import preferences are. I guess I could have just started typing it. Let's see if it picks it up. Providers. We'll have some schematics for this point at some point in the future. Provide file router. Save that. Looks like it picked it up. App still works. So we can go in here and we'll add the imports. And since we're all standalone, all everything, do router outlet. Now I was thinking whether I would alias this in the analog package, re-export the router outlet just as outlet, because I think that is a little more condensed anyway, because you're already exporting from the router package. But it may be because then like some parts you'll import from the Angular router, some parts you'll import from analog router, which sits on top of the Angular router. So we'll have to see what the balance is there for getting that working. But in any case, let's remove these parts and we'll add the router outlet from there. And we're still running, I suppose. So let's create a, that should be another question. Should we include a route with the default template application? We'll name this about.ts. And let's see, we have some, 1 second. You know what's happening when the spammers are coming through. We'll report that. Okay, there we go. And we're back. Robert Tables, how are you? How's a mod spamming? I'm not sure. Yeah, it was wild. I don't know. I don't know what was happening there, but oh, Restream bot was misbehaving. Cool. That's neat. But yes, Robert Tables, thanks for coming through. I haven't seen you around in a while. Hope you're doing well. Okay, before we got interrupted by the bots, I was looking at seeing if we can create a first route for, I just published the router package, so let's create an about analog route, export default class about page component. I've been doing pretty good. Such have a such a chill vibe. I usually lurk. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. Um, I like the chill vibe. Uh, it fits my MO, as they say. But yes, happy Friday Eve. I'm not sure what where you are, but yes, I'll be glad when it's Friday. But my week's been pretty good. So, um, like I said, I said at the beginning, I'm trying to get back on the stream train. So we'll see how it goes. It seems like a decent time. So I'm like mixing up everything. New day, new stream. No music so far. Just the sound of my voice. For better or worse. But yes, thanks. So I created a component, about page. Let's see if it picks it up. It's not going to pick it up because I've done this manually and I need to add this to the tsconfig.app.json so it picks up the dynamically created files. Restart the Vite server. And we're back here. And let's try about again. Oh, we got an error that time, of course. Cannot match any routes. That's probably caching the route there. take a look in some sources. Let's put a breakpoint here. Okay, so I see the route that time. So there's a couple of ways we can go about looking at this. This does two things. It imports the routes and registers them along with the router, but we can also see what those routes actually look like with just importing the routes. I can lock those out here. And now we can see that there is an about route here. Yes. And we're still about slash. Okay. Must be, oh. Okay, so this is my mistake. We got about.ts here. I did not mark this as standalone because that is going to be the rule. This is the first all standalone router for Angular, I guess. So let's go back to about again. And about analog. Works like we expected it to, which is great. Past the minor hiccups. That is something I did not include in the instructions there. So do I want to add it to the closed issue, or let's file? We're going to do some live open source here, of course. Issues, new issue. I need to add one for documentation. So we'll just do a blank. Docs. Update manual setup for analog router. Include changes to tsconfig.app.json for source app roots ts. Was there anything else that I did not include when I changed? Probably restart the Vite server. Take that back out. Add router outlet. Restart Vite. Cool. So we'll count that as one there. One thing we can also try out here is in the about route is exporting const of route meta. Define route meta. I'm going to say the title is, this is going to define the title for this page, which I've done this before, and just see if it picks up the page title. About analog. Nice. Save that. Makes the title a little bit bigger. Refresh is working. Cool. Let's see if my docs are published. It's router overview. Yes, and this is the setup part where I need to add to the tsconfig.app.json and restart the Vite server. So let's try the things that I have listed in the documentation here. I already did this one about standalone true, dynamic route. Let's copy this. We're going to go in here and routes. New file, products dot product ID .ts. Let's paste async pipe. Okay, maybe the language service is doing something there. So go back here and go to products/1, no route. Change directory. I can change directory in terminal. You can use the cd command to change directory in a terminal. So there you go. We may just need to, it doesn't seem to be picking up my routes changes. Let's do that. Let's refresh. And we still only have one route. I think I saved everything here. Product details page. Let's start up Vite again. Can I show you how to do it? I can, but I think you can do it in your own terminal just the same with the cd command. Yes. So what did I miss here? Product ID, products/product ID. Because this is ideally what we want the user to do, is just create a file and then it gets picked up. And let's see if, okay, so now we got two routes. Products and ID equals 1. Product details and ID of 1. So that works. Let's change this to 1, 2, 3. Works just fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a dynamic route. We have a static route and a dynamic route. And let's do a nested route. Do a nested route and a catch-all route. We'll go through all of them. We did the route metadata, so that works as intended. Create another route here for, call this one items, because I don't know if it's going to cause a conflict with the products one. So items.ts, items component, and then we have an items folder, and in here we'll create an index.ts for like the home route that we'll use for the items list. Hey, Jilitter, hopefully I may have botched that. Do you like the current implementation of standalone components? Find them too verbose, file imports for plus component imports. Good question. I've thought about this also, just because I feel the same thing. It's like we kind of made a trade-off. We yeah, so standalone components, we kind of made a trade-off on how easy it is to author an Angular component versus the verboseness of um, defining what that component needs. Um, I think standalone components. I like standalone components a lot, actually. I think it has unlocked at least a lot of things that I've been working on, at least with the Angular integration with Astro, and being able to, like I said, easily author Angular components here. Like I said, I just dropped in a component class and was able to get up and running there. So that part about it I really like. The imports is um we'll see how I guess we'll see how that works out, because the more things you use in the, which this shouldn't even be in here, the more things you use in the imports array, we like took all the things that you would put in an ng module and stuff them in the imports array. So it's just going to make that part kind of blow up there. Now, of course, we could do things like um, component imports, component imports here, and put a whole long list of things in here. And, this could be super long. We could fold that up there and just have something like that in here. So, give imports in any type. Oh, geez, come on. Yes, any. What is this going to be? Type any array. Let's see. I saw somewhere where they were telling you how to do this. So I think it's like as const or something. Read only array. But yes, there are ways to get around like stuffing all these things into your component. Type any array. So yes, we can make it look nice and thin, but yes, I do think there's a bit of verbosity to that's going to come with the imports array. The cool part, it translates to many other framework tech stacks. Yes, that is definitely true. Don't need the extra imports in React or Vue. That is also true. That is one of the things that the Angular compiler needs to define what's needed in your template or what's available in a template. But I do wish I've said this before, I do wish we had a way to just drop, basically go from import to component template. And you can do this. Astro is like a great example of this, because you can go straight from you import the component and you just drop it in the template. Same with React and these other frameworks. And they mentioned at ngconf that they're looking at doing something that will give you a similar experience to this. It's not going to get rid of I'm just going to use it as an example. Import my component from my component. And then you have something to where your templates here, and you, forgive my typing skills, basically drop the component into the template like that. Um, this won't, these two things will be, I think, implicitly connected, but it isn't the same as how it is in like JSX, to where this is imported in this component. You see, it's this values declared but never read. This is just a string, which we don't support self-closing tags yet, but that's a different thing. But they're looking at making this so that it recognizes the symbols between these two things. And I imagine they'll like glue these two things together with tooling. um, a combination of tooling and a compiler. But it'll tell you like if I don't do this, you see that that's still there. It doesn't tell you that something's wrong there. So I imagine if they move forward with this, then it would behave something like that, and then you can still have your directives and things like mat something, mat button. I'm just using it as an example, but yes, that's what I would like to see because today you have to do this imports my component, import my component, imports, my component. That's what you have to do today. 1, 2, 3. If we could just go straight from here to here and have the self-closing tag, that would be pretty nice for components at least. And I would like to see that. But I know it's not that easy. And of course, the team is always looking towards backwards compatibility, um, and how you're going to move the Titanic of users along with these changes. Uh, have no issue with self-closing tags or even the kebab case. Double imports, yeah. Yeah, it yes, it's like we already know. Um, well, and this, yeah, it goes back to string templates. If this template were some not JSX but JSX like, then we could go straight from concrete import to bring that into the template. So um, yeah, I would like to see that too, to say in short form. And I got a whole lot of red in here. Put that back in there just because. And let's see what our routes. They still only have 2 routes. Items and index. I wonder. Let's refresh. I'm trying to see what the path is to getting it to recognize the routes that I just added. Let's go to here. Files. We got 2 routes there still. Okay, so I had to do like a hard refresh on the routes there. So now I have 3 routes. I have items. Then we have an array of routes for that. So if we go to items, yes. Items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this should just be items. Items and items list. So all that works as expected. But the refresh part, it's like we need some way to evict the cache for the routes or something when you create new files, because nobody wants to have to like hard refresh after each one. Main. And maybe this is a note modules thing. Let's see. That's something I'll have to dig into further. But at least I like the workflow. As you can see, I have not defined any route config. All I've done is created routes under my routes folder, and it has done the magic part of turning those things into routes themselves, which is pretty nice. But thanks for the question. Always good to have good chat questions and people hanging out. So keep them coming. And it was good that we actually published the published the router package because I wasn't going to publish it tomorrow. Because I always remember kids don't publish packages on Friday unless you're contractually obligated to. We're still getting some traction on my tweet from earlier. Let's see, what do we have? Still kind of like the decorators. Maybe instead of template, ng host directive. Interesting. People. We have do you know if this Vite plus Angular integration is coming to Angular 15 or later? I can definitively say yes, it will. Um, I will probably, now that the Angular RC is out, or do publish on Friday, push to prod on Friday. I'm not even That's right. You can do whatever you want. Don't listen to me uh, deploying on a Friday and then spending some of your weekend breaking things. Um, no, don't listen to me. One thing I did not try was the catch-all route. So we're going to go with not found.ts. And let's just copy this one. Page not found. Not page, not fondue. Not found. Page component. Okay, so I saved that. We got the. I think what happened is it didn't reload here. So it definitely means it's not going to show up here. So you got three routes still. Hard refresh. Still there. Hey Andres, what's up? How are you? I am fiddling with routing and I'm doing the last one here, the catch-all route. Okay, so I restarted the Vite server, then did a refresh, basically a hard refresh. And now we can see that um, the catch-all route is here. So if I enter bad route, page not found, that all works nicely. You can come back to our app component here and add some links in here. Router link equals home. No colors. Items. Products. Bad. Products 1, 2, 3. Items and home. And you have to add the router link with href. Ugh. So long. Router link with href. I think they're consolidating that. I want to give them a hard time. They're going to consolidate router link with href. You heard it here first. But as I mentioned earlier, what I would like to see is just like as link. So because we're already importing from the router package, router outlet as outlet and outlet. So outlet and link. I like that. Just at least visually anyway. Items list. Uh-oh. We're not showing our home. Oh, wait, I didn't have a home route, did I? Items. Okay, that works sort of expected. What fun things are we doing today? Well, if you call them fun, I am kind of going through the analog router. I actually deployed it live on stream here. So I was going through and trying some of the features out. We did static routes, we did nested routing, we did a route with dynamic parameters and a catch-all route. And what I need is a home route. So we're going to go and create that one. Do about, say, home or welcome. And I'll have to look into the issue more of having to like refresh Vite and seeing, because you have to like restart the Vite server and restart the Vite server to get it to recognize the new routes that I've just entered there. So I have to see what's going on with that. So you can see there. Now I got 5 routes. Home, welcome. It's pretty nice not having the right route configs, I must say. And all these work. Product details. It works. 456. Everything is nice and close to the component. Inject activated route. I haven't played around with the idea of injecting, like directly injecting route params, and it just give you, I'm just gonna like pseudocode something here, like read only, let's call this product ID, inject params or something like that. Product ID. And that could be like the equivalent of this, which we could do that today. We could say inject params equals ID string, and we could say return inject. We could actually use this inject activated route and take all this part and say get ID. I will name this param. This should be a function. We could say product ID. This should not be private. How are guards working with this pattern? Yes, that's a good question. I will show that in a second here, but this, we could have inject params. Really nice shorthand there, which should still work. 456, 789, all still works. So instead of having to inject the route, do the whole route param map thing, I wouldn't even have to inject RxJS, or to do that particular part anyway, because a lot of what you do with route parameters is inject them and map. So this could be a observable. It just gives you an observable of a string or null. And the question was, how do guards work? So let's say we have the about page. The guards can be inlined in the, I'm going to use the new functional route guards here just to show an example. So we're just going to say return true, and just to show that it works, about guard. Can activate guard. So we'll go back here. I guess I didn't link the about page. Not that it matters. About. Link back here. Select home. About analog. We bring up the log here. You can see that the guard still runs, even though it's inline in the component. And that was one of the tricky parts, actually, because we're essentially building a route object that looks like this. Path, about, and this part. Basically doing all this dynamically, right? And resolving the imports and things. Let's say this was providers and you had like provide store in here or something from NGRX. Like how will we, like we'd have something like this at NGRX store. And this is for like lazy loaded things. How are we gonna resolve these explicit TypeScript things in this providers array? Because those things aren't strings. So that's what we're effectively doing here, is creating this config, and we're taking the path and taking the route metadata and adding that to the route that's dynamically created, something like that. So that's why that works, which is pretty cool, I must say. You don't have to think about it. Yeah, so that's guards work. And that was part of the thing. I wanted guards to like work like they normally do. The route config to kind of work like it normally does. You still have to do, if you were building that route normally, you put the route and your path in there and your component and all that, title and providers and everything. And I still wanted to have access to the Angular router in that way because it builds on top of it, and then have those things be nice little helpers, or the route config be part of that too. So yeah, so I basically shrunk that down too. Y'all already kind of convinced me to like add this one, this inject params to the pipeline here. Anyway, string or null. We'll probably have to add some, of course, some better types on here or something, so that it'll return what you expect it to return. Or you can provide a type to tell it to what the return should be. Because I don't think param. I don't know that you can tell it what the type's going to be, but yes, this would be what t as observable t, something like that, maybe. Return, or this would be as t. T or no. Yeah, I know, unknown as t. TypeScript foo is not great, but observable of a number. Then you get the correct like type information there. Something like that would be nice. Like in React, you have like with hooks and everything, you have like params equals use, or like router, which hooks don't work this way in Angular, but like use router, something like that. If we could like co-opt that, that would be nice too. But I think we've landed on like inject router, which that one is already available. So I kind of like use better, but we'll see. I may break it for a week. Breaking changes already, but inject router works. Because use router in React means something different, and it may cause confusion to do that in Angular. The whole using that terminology anyway. Cool. So we did. I think that's everything. Nested routes, route guards, route config. I should probably push this up to a GitHub repo. And then I have to go back. I'm gonna write an issue. We'll call it a bug. Router. Oops. This is open source. What do I want to call this one? Feet must be restarted along with browser refresh to pick up new routes. When adding a new file for a route, it is not picked up on page reload. You must restart feet and refresh page to get the new routes. Selection, router, environment. Oh, put that in the wrong place. Local. Submit new issue. So that'd be something else to look at. But I like how it works in general. So, because I don't have any separate configs or anything. Yo, Jason, what's up? I tell him I'm on the new schedule, no music uh, here, but we'll see. I'm just trying to get back on the wagon. I did some demos with analog file-based routing. Seems to work okay, uh, but it could be better, and that's fine too. So let's git add working routes demo. And let's see. Let's create a repository. No template, public, all good things. Let's copy that. And we're going to get remote, add origin, router demo. Push that up. And cool. We will drop that in the chat for anybody who wants to go look through that thing and test it out some more. Maybe find something I didn't try. And while you're there, go ahead and go to the GitHub repo, give us a star or something like that if you wish. And I got more docs to update, apparently, and maybe some new potential features, which is cool. But yes, we will got docs, we got the package there, and then like I said, going to add it to the scaffolded app. So when you create a new analog project, you'll just get the router out of the box. And that's it. And I didn't see any of my chat showing up here during the stream, so we'll fix that for next time. Cool. We'll end here. Jason, you came in on the tail end of the stream, but that's okay. We're gonna keep this time at least. Um, yes, you did make it. That's what counts. And look, there's my chat showing up there on this one, of course. But thanks, Robert Tables, for hanging out and watching me pseudo demo everything here. Yes, if you enjoyed the stream, go ahead and hit us with the follow. Yes, appreciate that too. But yes, we're gonna try to keep this same time, 1:30 Central for me anyway. And then we'll see if we can find somebody to raid here. Every demo we do is pseudo. There you go. Not Twitch, not Twitter, Twitch. Let's see. Let's see. Mertru Cassidy, Chris Griffin is streaming, so okay. There we go. We will give Chris a raid here. If I can remember how to get this working. Video producer. I think stream manager was what I'm looking for. Yep. We will switch over to switch over to monologue view here. Thanks to everyone for coming through. We'll see if we can get that going. We'll hit up Chris with the raid, and we'll do it again next week. We're going to stream some more. We're going to build some more stuff and move forward. See ya.